What's up guys, how the heck are you doing? Welcome to today's video. If you're new here, my name is Drewxcifer, and on this channel I talk about filmmaking and photography tips and tricks and tutorials. And today's video is no different. So I woke up this morning minding my own business and grabbed my iPad to read through the news like I always do, and lo and behold, Christmas came early. It was something I have been waiting forever for, and that is something that Adobe could not do, something that Apple could not do with Final Cut Pro, and Blackmagic Design has done it. They have optimized Davinci Resolve, the full version for the iPad. Now, I have known that Davinci Resolve was being optimized for the iPad for a couple months now, and unfortunately I couldn't get in on the private beta. Unfortunately, that is what happens when you don't have a shitload of followers. But as of today, Thursday, December 22nd, it is public for the iPad. And I've just downloaded it, and I want to talk about some reasons why I think it is freaking gnarly. And if you've been a long time watcher of this channel, you know that I'm a proponent of slimming down and using a minimal kit. And that is for a multitude of reasons. A lot of times when you go out there to shoot on location, or you go on vacation and you want to take your camera gear with you, you don't have to take everything in your gear locker or in your studio with you, and that is for a multitude of reasons. But we live in a time now where it's easier to get amazing shots with less equipment, or with equipment that is a lot smaller. Nowadays you can do awesome things with mirrorless cameras, or cinema cameras are coming in a smaller form factor as well. And laptops are able to do everything that huge editing bays used to struggle to do, as well as iPads and tablets are able to do things that high-end laptops used to struggle to do. And all we were lacking before on the iPad was the software. But now, thanks to the iPads with the M1, M2 chips, and now we're having more and more companies like Blackmagic Design investing their time into optimizing their apps for iPads. These iPads are not only becoming very crucial and important and must-have devices for filmmakers, photographers, but also content creators as well. And now with this optimization of Davinci Resolve, I could use this as a complete laptop replacement. Because before, all I was lacking was a good editing software, because things like LumaFusion, which was our best bet for cutting video on the iPad, it severely lacked color grading tools. And I used LumaFusion for probably about 6 months to a year strictly for editing videos, because I wanted to see if I could do it. And it let me down a lot of times when it came to motion graphics, titles, and color grading. It can't handle any of those. Davinci Resolve for the iPad is the same as Davinci Resolve for the desktop. The menus are just set up a little different because they had to pack so much stuff into a little package. So I just want to take a quick look at it and show you guys what the interface looks like, and talk a little bit about why the iPad is just so sick to edit on. Now, as a photographer, right, we all love retouching our photos in Adobe Lightroom. And on the iPad, that is about the best photo editing experience you can have, using the Apple Pencil and using your hand to edit photos. Video is no different. And like I said, I fell in love with that on the iPad because my MacBook Pro isn't touchscreen. My big monitor and editing bay over here, I don't have a touchscreen. So having this mobile on-the-go editing device where I can use my Apple Pencil in my hand, it just allows me to be further engaged with the process of editing, and I'm a big fan of that. The only thing that would come close to that would probably be having the Blackmagic interfaces with the wheels, the big editing boards, and that sort of thing. But to me, hands down, the Apple Pencil and being able to use your hand is phenomenal. It is going to look essentially the same as it does on the desktop. Minus, if you look at the bottom, you have the cut tab and you have the color tab. Export and all of those other options are hidden in these other menus throughout the software. So I'm going to plug in an SSD right now that has Blackmagic RAW files on it, and we're going to see for the first time how this iPad version does with Blackmagic RAW files. So we're going to select this one right here. It's just a 2 gig file. And we're going to bring that in. And it came in no problem. It came in super fast. Because before, to edit footage out of my Blackmagic cameras, I had to transcode the footage or convert it to another file type before I could use it on the iPad. So, this is a little bit older video because my studio isn't set up like this anymore. The video that this is for, I'll link in the top up here. If you want to watch it, it's about lighting. And so this is essentially what it looks like. You have your cut tools and all of that stuff over here on the side. What I want to do is I want to check out the effects tab. So you have effects that you can add. You have your titles. This is all the same stuff that's in the full version on the desktop. So let's add a title real quick. Let's add a digital glitch title. Let's bring up the inspector. Here, this will allow us to change the text. We're just going to put Drewxcifer in here. Okay. And let's get rid of this keyboard. Okay, so now we have that in there, and let's just see how the playback is. No problems. No problems. The sample is just sample text. I can delete that out of there. So no problems with it. It plays back super smooth. Let's go to the color tab, and let's look at the color. So now that we're in the color tab, let's look at the LUTs. We have, of course, all the standard LUTs that would be in the full version. I like putting the Arri Alexa Rec 709 on my Blackmagic footage because you can see how awesome that made that look straight out of the gate. Give it a little curve adjustment, little S-curve adjustment. Bring up my midtones, bring my midtones down a little bit, my highlights down a little bit, and you can see how good that looks already. But if I wanted to further adjust it using the color wheels, all of that's in here. You have the same thing that you have in all of the other versions of Davinci Resolve. You can go in here, you have all of your waveform monitors, you have your scopes, you have your parade, you have all of that stuff. You have your masking tools, you have your stabilization tools, you have your keying tools, and you have your camera raw tools. So literally everything you have in the full version, as well as being able to come over here and add nodes and delete nodes and do all of that stuff. And then, you know, if I wanted to export it, I would go up here and then I can send it straight to YouTube. I can send it to Twitter, Dropbox, Vimeo, wherever. It has the same options as the full version. So I would love to make more videos on how to edit videos on the go in Davinci on the iPad. So if you would like to see those, drop a comment below. And I would like to uncover a lot of those hidden features that Blackmagic has put in their optimized version for the iPad. And I think this is a good gateway for people to get into Davinci Resolve, people that have never tried it before, because there are a lot of people out there that edit video on their iPad or their iPad only content creators, and I believe this will help them step up their production value and help them step up their game tenfold. So one cool thing is I've edited this entire video in Davinci Resolve on the iPad, and let me know, what do you guys think? Do you think Davinci Resolve on the iPad is awesome? Do you think it is just another thing just thrown out there that people aren't going to use? How do you feel about it? Let me know down in the comments. If you get any sort of value from this channel, from these videos, go ahead, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any killer content here from the Drewxcifer channel. And as always, guys, stay rad, just go shoot, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.